So when most teachers think of school gardens, the two things that come to mind is I don't have time to teach gardening and plant science is not in my curriculum. So what we have done is we have come up with some garden learning centers. Centers are a format that most, especially elementary school teachers, are familiar with, and we have been able to connect these centers to curriculum of all areas, so making the garden an accessible place for teachers of every subject and every walk of life.
So another barrier we have found with teachers that we work with is how do I go outside and teach? I know how to teach in my classroom, but the outdoor classroom I don't feel the same confidence. And so student engagement obviously is really, really important, that when we take 25 students out, that everybody has something productive to do, not just the 2 or 3 that are planting or weeding or harvesting, whatever they might be doing. So we're going to be delving into how to keep students engaged while in the garden or around the garden area.
We are here with our digging bed. So Doug, tell us a little bit about what we need for a digging bed.
So for a digging bed, you can use a raised bed that you have already built in your garden area that you determine that that's going to be dedicated just to as a digging bed. But you also can do something as simple as a little wading pool. This is only about 3 feet across, 8 inches deep. Once filled with soil, there's treasure inside that Amy will talk about in just a minute. But some things you might want to consider is to drill some holes so this doesn't become a soggy mess, especially in areas like ours where there's plenty of rainfall. Also, the soil that you put in simply needs to be loose and lightweight, but it does not need to have any kind of nutrients in it. So just a potting soil that's nutrient-free is absolutely fine. One tool I do want to point out that I think is really good is this is a 94-cent plastic shovel, plastic trowel. It does have a measuring up to 4 inches deep right here on the inside. And I just think these are great, in addition to just be easy to clean and easy to use and lightweight, they're also very safe being plastic. So, and that's really important in the garden too. So Amy, why don't you tell us some things that we have to use to bury and maybe things to do while at the digging bed.
So one thing I think that's important to do in digging is to be able to examine the soil. So I like to include little plastic trays in here so they can use their trowels, they can put soil on there and they can examine it. So here we can examine it. I like these nice large magnifying glasses that help them to be able to see the different particles in the soil. There's also nice to have a few of these little strainers, little sieves, that you can, all of the items that I have in this digging bed, I basically picked up with the exception of the magnifying glass at the dollar store. So it's nice to be able to sort through some things. We have just some measuring spoons and measuring cups, but I also really like the idea of having buried treasure.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
Always fun to find something exciting when you're digging. So I have, again, at the dollar store, we have some little plastic critters that you can find, several of them. We have some dinosaurs and we have some insects. We also have a variety of rocks. So here I have some little river stones. Here are these little colorful glass marbles. And here we have, again, like a container of nice white stones. So you can bury a few of those items in there, a few treasures for your students to find. One of the things that I think is most important about having a digging bed is when I'm going out to the garden, what do I want to do? I want to dig in the soil. But once my things have been planted, I can't do that anymore. So having this space to just explore and feel and use my senses to understand the soil.
Observe.
There's also a tremendous amount of research linking healthy soil bacteria with positive mental health benefits. It acts to release serotonin just like an antidepressant would, and really helps with anxiety and depression. There's actually been studies on it for PTSD as well. So look up some articles if you are in question about whether you should include a digging bed. The answer to that is yes. It's really hard to be angry when you're digging in the soil. So this is a great place for students to de-escalate. Somebody's having a bad day, then maybe just give them a little bit of time to get their fingers dirty and dig in the soil.
Right. And a great, another great center for not only doing something productive in terms of exploration, but also management. It's a great management tool to have students that are focused on the digging that they're doing.
Right. We need to, curriculum is always an important thing to cover, but we also have to realize that we have to meet the needs of the whole child, their social emotional needs as well. This is a great area to practice mindfulness. You are in the moment when you're digging in the soil. You're not really worrying about what's happening in the class, the test you're going to have to take. You're really just in this moment and feeling it and sensing it and enjoying it, and it's really hard to be angry when you're here. So this is a great station to consider having at your garden. So we hope that you can get something from this and go create your own centers. Be creative when you put them together. There's a lot of different things that you might want to do that we didn't do, and there's plenty other centers that you could create as well. So we hope that this has been helpful for you.